What's up everybody, my name is Brendan and this is BigBearB Creative. Welcome back everybody to another Sunday video, which means we're going to be doing some sort of type of photo editing. Now it's going to be a little different this time than it has been the last couple times, and if you saw Friday's video, I told you a little bit about what we're doing today, and obviously if you looked at the thumbnail you kind of know what we're doing. But one, if you did see Friday's video, then you know what we're doing. If you didn't, you should go check it out. I'll link it up here. Basically, it's going to be a kind of all-over tutorial just about aperture, just to help all those beginner photographers, or if you just need a nice little recap on what aperture is and kind of different settings and stuff that it'll give you and what you need to do for that. So make sure you check that out if you are interested, really. Or if you're not interested, you should still go check it out. There's also a couple funny things that happen in there, but yeah, so this video, what are we doing? Well, in Friday's video, I explained a little bit, and that is that we're basically going to be making an office landscape photo, which sounds a little weird. But basically what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to take a couple random things that I have around the house and try to take a photo that makes it look like I'm out in a landscape without it actually me having to go anywhere. So we'll see how it turns out. But what are we using? What are those household items? Well, you're going to see I'm going to be using a fake plant. It definitely looks fake. It's not real whatsoever. We're going to be using a deep plate slash shallow bowl thing. I don't know what it's called. A spray bottle and my water bottle. Then that just has water that we're going to pour into the deep bowl thing. And then the spray bottle is going to be used to spray water onto the leaves. Just again, try to create a little bit of depth or something here. Just kind of see what kind of fun we have. So if you guys are really interested in this and ready to get started, I'm going to cue a B-roll footage thing of me trying to put this thing together and just kind of see how it turns out. Alright, so now that I've finally taken these photos, and there's a bunch of them, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how they turned out. I'm a little hot. I'm starting to get a little sweaty. I'm going to take a little break, cool down a little bit, and then we're going to jump on over to my computer. I'm going to show you what we got, choose kind of which ones that I like and which ones we're going to actually do the editing. Then we'll do the edit, and then we'll wrap this whole thing up. So let's get on over there after I cool down in just a second. Alright, so we're over to my computer now. I've cooled down a little bit. If you hear any background humming or anything, it's because I have a fan pointed at me. It gets really hot in my office, plus I have two lights pointed right at my face, so it gets a little toasty. But here are the 5 photos that we just took over there of the fake office landscape photo shoot that we just did, whatever it is you want to call it. And we'll just kind of go through each of them. I'll talk a little bit about we'll do a little bit of the settings I use to shoot them, and then the theory kind of behind them here. So each of them will take a little bit to load, just because it takes a second. I don't have a super fancy computer, but it gets the job done. So yeah, so this is the first one that we took, and if you could tell, I mean, one, it definitely looks like a fake plant. It doesn't look like a real one, but we're just making do with what we have here. I don't like that you can see a little bit of the potted plant, like the actual pot that the plant was in over here, but it's not bad. I do like the shimmer that's on the leaves, because as you can see over here, we had to shoot in an f3.5. With that aperture, you have a very small depth of field. If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, you should go check out that Friday video because we talked all about aperture and different things that happen with settings of aperture, and this is one of the ones we covered. But because we had to use that just to bring in enough light for this, the depth of field isn't great. I kind of like the gradient though. You can tell it's mainly focused over here. And I kind of like that. I like a little bit of the shimmer. It's not bad. And of course, we're going for a darker photo, which is why ISO is a little bit lower and the shutter speed is a little bit quicker, just because I didn't want to bring in as much light, just so that way I could hide the fact that we're shooting this in the office. But yeah, so that's the first photo. And then I switched back and forth between landscape and portrait in terms of composition and whatnot. Now this one I think might be one of my favorites. And that's because even with the narrow depth of field that we have for shooting again in that f3.5, because it was more along the same plane, most of it is going to be in focus. Well, like you can tell up here, there's something really close to the camera that's very much out of focus. And then the bowl in the back, or our pond in this case, was out of focus. So it kind of helps a little bit. I'm not a huge fan that you can see the reflection of my posters on this back wall on the bowl, but we could change a little bit of that in editing if we need to. If we need to put like a vignette or something in, then that would be good for that. But again, same kind of thing, was going more for the darker image, just to hide the fact that we're shooting in the office. And this one I wanted to go for more of the tip. That sounds a little wrong. For this one I wanted to go for a little bit more of the very edge of the plant. That's kind of more like close to dipping into the water, and I wanted to capture some water droplets. As you can tell, they're forming up a little bit on the edges. Again, the shimmer's very nice. I do like the fact that it's blown out up here and looked a lot more sharp up here. Of course, you can still tell that it's a fake plant, but it's not bad. You got a little bit of glimmer happening back here, which is why I have the water bowl, just to add a little bit of dimension to the photograph. Again, we're going with another landscape composition here. And this one I'm not a huge fan of because of that depth of field, that it really, you could just tell this branch, I guess, of the bush is in focus. You got a little bit here and then a little bit here, but this is all out of focus, and then the majority of this is out of focus. So I don't think I'm going to use this one. Also not a fan of the light that's coming out of there, but again, you can change that in editing. And you can just see a little bit too much of the bowl. So I'm not a huge fan of that one. Probably won't stick to editing that one. This one, again, I gotta have some love and hate. Of course, it's still loading, so there we go. I don't know. I kind of like it and I kind of don't. There's a little bit too much of the background that it captured over here, but again, editing can take that away. I don't know, because I like and I don't like, again, that the very tip of the plant is out of focus, but then here is in focus, and you can see all the water droplets forming. You'd even see one that's kind of forming here. Of course, that one's not in focus, but I think I'm kind of going back and forth between 1, 2, and 5. Not 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 5. Let me know down in the comment section which one you guys would prefer, and maybe in a second you'll see which one we choose and you might win. Just what he wanted to see. I'm not giving you anything this time. Yeah, so I don't know, I kind of like that one. Go back to 4 again, because 4 isn't bad either. I feel like that can be kind of nice. I'm going to change it to 1, 3, and 5. I'm going with the odd numbers here. Even though I do like that a lot of that is in focus, but I'm not a huge fan of this reflection and then this branch that is sticking a little closer. And I'm going to rule out 1 mainly because of the fact you can still see the pot a little bit. And again, the whole thing is in focus. So let's go to 3 and 5. This one's actually quite tricky. I might end up editing both of these, and then I'll leave it up to you guys to decide which one you think is better. So let's just start with this one and see what we can do here. I want to try to darken that outside a little bit here. So when it actually finally loads and lets me do it, then we'll get started with it. Alright, so now it's finally loaded. let's kind of see what we can do here. Because like I said, I want to kind of darken this area a little bit. Really, I just kind of want to highlight the actual leaf that's sticking over the blade of the bush. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. Oh, and we got a dog in here. If you hear any chinging, that's her collar. So let's kind of see. I'm gonna keep that where it is. Ooh, it's looking moody already. Yeah, if you are ever like following my Instagram or anything like that, will you stop sticking your nails in the carpet? Jesus. But if you follow my Instagram account or anything like that, you will know that I definitely like some moody photos. I'm gonna bring up the highlights a little bit here. Drop the shadows a little. Nope, that's way too much. I'm gonna keep the shadows in the middle. I don't want to bring up the whites too much. I'll bring them up a little bit, then bring the blacks down. Crank up clarity a little bit here. Do like that. I just kind of see already what that is doing to this. So if I click the little eye button, kind of see they were really isolating that leaf, which looks really nice. I really like that. I think this one actually might end up being the better one to go with here. But again, we'll see at the end. Let's see what's happening. It's kind of changing the color a little bit. I'm going to just have the whites pop a little bit more. I'm actually going to set those back and let's see what we can get a little bit here with some shadows. Ooh. Fancy, fancy. Like that. We'll see what some dehaze here does. Honestly, not really doing anything, so we'll just keep that where it is. I don't really want to change much of the coloring. Maybe kind of to see what a darker green would do. No. I like that where it is. I don't really want to change any hue or anything. Do I want to desaturate the green? Increase the green? I think I like the slightly less. I think that just adds a really nice kind of coloring effect. Polarizer really shouldn't do anything here. I was just seeing if it would mess with the reflections at all. So now we're going to bring in the vignette, just again to kind of darken the outside ring a little bit. I'll bring that out. It's again because I want to darken over here. And then I might add a little bit of an inner light. Just a little bit though. I think that looks nice. Don't want to increase any of these small details. That looks funky. Was not a big fan of that. We'll just add a little bit there. Maybe a little bit of structure. That's, I mean, I'm gonna add just a little bit, not too much. Then increase the sharpening a little bit. Okay. So, I mean, that looks much different, and now you can't really tell at all that we took it in the office. We're having a little bit of shimmer over here. I'm okay with that. Maybe I will brighten the bottom a little bit. No, not darken it. I'm gonna brighten it up just a little bit, just so that that little flickering of the water over here just comes out a little bit more. And then I think that's good. It kind of hides a little bit of the fakeness while also making sure that you still kind of know that it's a fake plant. But I think either way, it still looks pretty cool. So I'll let you see this one a little bit closer, and then we'll jump over to the second one and kind of see how that one looks. All right, so now we're over to the second one, which is actually the third photo that we took. And we're gonna see what we could do here. I feel like the edits are gonna be very similar again because we're going for the same kind of look, but I'm not sure which one's gonna end up looking better. So this one I'm not sure because there's a lot of blank space on the bottom, but again, there's also a lot of everything going on up top, so it kind of balances out in that aspect. So let's kind of see what we can get here. This one I don't think I'm gonna have as much contrast because I don't want to get rid of too much of what's happening on top. Bring up the highlights, bring up the whites a little bit, bring down the blacks a smidge. And I really think there's a sky in this. We've really fooled us into thinking that it was actually taken outside. That's fun. I've had that happen on a couple photos, but I know it was definitely not taken inside, or outside, where the sky is even in the photograph, but it tends to like to think that it was. Again, I'm just gonna leave the middle blank here. Let's add a little bit of the shadow. Yeah, that's nice. Again, we'll probably bring up the bottom light just a little bit, just to again bring back a little bit of that shimmer, to kind of give the illusion that we're over that pond or something like that. See if dehaze works at all here. It kind of just takes some of the color out, but I want to keep that color in, even in the blacks. I don't really need to do any split toning. Do I want to add a little bit of... Yeah, let's add a little bit of saturation to this one. Just kind of see the difference here. Once again, let's see what happens here when I lower. Yeah, and then maybe even, because this one's it's a very bright green. I want to see what happens. Ooh, that's rough. We're gonna keep that in the middle. We're not gonna mess with the hues of any of those. Again, I don't really want to bring in a vignette on this one much, but I do want that inner light, so I'll create a little bit of one. Just so I could get that inner light happening. And we'll add a little bit of the small details. Don't really have any denoise that I want to do. Add a little bit of structure. And add a little bit of that sharpening. That's a little too much. Let's go down a little bit on that structure and kind of get a glimpse here. Again, I think that turned out really nice. Really hard to kind of tell there that this was taken inside, even though you would probably guess it would be, unless I was going around outside at night with a flashlight taking photos, which I very much could do. I might do that later on and then come back and compare these things. That'd be kind of fun. You should subscribe, just in case I end up doing that, because that would probably be fun. But I'll go ahead and show you this one a little bit zoomed up, and then we'll go ahead and get this thing all wrapped up. Alright, so there you guys go. I really hope you enjoyed this video and the whole kind of steps we took in actually creating this, through showing you how I did it over there to coming over here, editing it, and getting the final results. Let me know, like I said, down in the comment section below which one you guys prefer. If you preferred that first one that we edited, which was the 5th shot, if you liked the second one that we edited, which was the 3rd shot, or if you would have me rather... That sounded weird. It sounded like I was going into a pirate language. If you would have rather I edited any of the other ones, the 1st, 2nd, or 4th photo that we took, let me know. Maybe I'll even come back and we can do that next week, although I do have a photo shoot planned next week, so that'll be fun. It won't be, you guys won't see it that weekend, but it will be the next week, so make sure you're subscribing if you guys are wanting to stick around to see that. We're actually going to be doing more of a landscape photography vlog where I'm actually going to take you along. We're going camping at a place semi-close to me. It's a couple hours away, but there's mountain bluff, or not exactly mountains. There's some very tall hills, some lakes, rivers. There might be a waterfall or two. I'm not quite sure. There's definitely a lot of trees. I'm going to try to get some nice sunset photos, stuff like that. So maybe even some astrophotography, depending on how bright the moon is at that point. because I think at that point it might be a full moon. So I might do some full moon photography. I don't know, we're gonna see what happens there. So make sure you get subscribing if you want to stick around for that. Also make sure that you're checking out my landscape photography blog too. That's just some... Dog came back. She ran away though. We're fine. But you can check out my blog, because there I kind of expand on our Friday how-to videos. And then, like I said, we have the Friday how-to videos. We have the Sunday photo editing. We'll be doing a little bit more photography vlogs. That's something I want to bring to you guys. So let me know if that all sounds good by bear pawing that like button down below. Once again, it just helps me know that you're enjoying these videos and to keep making more of these for you guys. So make sure you're doing that. And also check out the description box. There's a bunch of different information in there you guys might like. Things about the music I used. You could also find yourself some nice apparel, some eco-conscious apparel. It's really nice. I've designed them all here myself. I have videos of them if you guys want to check those out. And then also you can find yourself some nice photo prints. Let me know if you want this to be a photo print. I feel like they might turn out well as a photo print. So let me know again down in the comment section below. You could also let me know over on my social medias. Check out my social media. Just interact with me there too. So make sure you guys are doing that if you want to. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys are having a great day. Be safe during this time and go be creative.